The Song of a Yogi's Joy. The master of yoga, the Jetsun Milarepa, in obedience to his guru's order, went from Junpan to Yolmo's snow range, where he dwelt in the tiger cave of Senge-son, in the woods of Singaling. The local goddess of Yolmo appeared in a gracious form, obeying the Jetsun's order and rendering her best service to him. Milarepa remained there for some time in a deeply inspired mood. One day 5 young nuns came from Mon to visit him. They addressed him thus: "It is said that this place is full of terror, an ideal place in which to attain great improvement in meditation. Can this be true? Have you found it so?" Milarepa then sang in praise of the place. "Obeisance to you, my guru. I met you through having accumulated great merit, and now stay at the place you prophesied. This is a delightful place, a place of hills and forests. In the mountain meadows flowers bloom, in the woods dance the swaying trees. For monkeys it is a playground. Birds sing tunefully, bees fly and buzz, and from day until night the rainbows come and go. In summer and winter falls the sweet rain, and mists and fog roll up in fall and spring, at such a pleasant place in solitude. I, Milarepa, happily abide, meditating upon the void illuminating mind. Oh, happy are the myriad manifestations! The more ups and downs, the more joy I feel. Happy is the body with no sinful karma. Happy indeed are the countless confusions. The greater the fear, the greater the happiness I feel. Oh, happy is the death of sensation and passions. The greater the distress and passions, the more can one be blithe and gay. What happiness to feel no ailments or illness! What happiness to feel that joy and suffering are one! What happiness to play in bodily movement, with the power aroused by yoga! To jump and run, to dance and leap, is more joyful still. What happiness to sing the victorious song! What happiness to chant and hum! More joyful still to talk and loudly sing. Happy is the mind, powerful and confident, steeped in the realm of totality. The most extreme happiness is the self-emanation of self-power. Happy are the myriad forms, the myriad revelations. As a welcome gift to my faithful pupil, I sing of yogic happiness." Thereupon Milarepa initiated the 5 young nun novices and gave them the verbal instructions. After practicing these teachings for some time, the light of inner realization was born within them. Milarepa was overjoyed and sang the nectar of instruction. "Oh, my guru, he who shows the unmistakable path to liberation, the perfect Savior, the great compassionate one, pray, never leave me, ever remain above my head as my crest jewel. Hearken, followers of the Dharma, ye meditators seated here. Though the teachings of Buddha are most numerous, he who can practice the profound path is gifted indeed. If you wish to become a Buddha in one lifetime, you should not crave the things of this life, nor intensify your self-longing, else you will be entangled between good and evil, and you may fall into the realm of misery. When you give service to your guru, refrain from thinking, 'I am the one who works. He is the one who enjoys.' Should you have this kind of feeling, quarrel and discord will surely follow, and your wish can never be fulfilled. When you observe the tantric precepts, cease association with the vicious, else you will be contaminated by evil influences, and you may risk breaking the precepts. When you engage in study and learning, do not attach yourself to words with pride, else the dormant fire of the 5 poisonous passions will blaze, and virtuous thoughts and deeds will be consumed. When you meditate with friends in retreat, do not attempt too many things, else your virtuous deeds will cease, and your devotion will be distracted. When you practice the path with form of the whispered transmission, do not exorcise demons, nor curse ghosts for others, lest demons rise within your mind, and a longing for worldly aims will blaze. When you have acquired experience and realization, do not display your miraculous powers, nor prophesy, lest the secret words and symbols slip away, and merits and spiritual insight will diminish. Beware of these pitfalls and avoid them. Commit not evil deeds. Eat not beguiling foods. Take not the burden of the corpse. Utter not sweet words to please others. Be humble and modest, and you will find the way. The nuns then asked Milarepa how they might find their own way, beseeching him for further instruction. In reply, Milarepa sang, I pay homage to my Guru, the Gracious One. I pray you to vouchsafe me with your grace waves. Pray help me, the mendicant, happily to meditate. Though you, children of the new generation, dwell in towns infested with deceitful karma, the link of Dharma still remains, because you have heard the Buddha's teachings. You now come to me, and thus avoid going astray. By constant practice of the accumulations of merits, you will foster an aptitude for devotion. The grace waves will then enter you, while the corresponding and actual realization will grow. But even if you do all this, it will help you little if you cannot reach full mastery. Having pity on you, I now give you this instruction. Listen closely, my young friends. When you remain in solitude, think not of the amusements in the town, else the evil one will rise up in your heart. Turn inward your mind, and you will find your way. When you meditate with perseverance and determination, you should think upon the evils of samsara and the uncertainty of death. Shun the craving for worldly pleasures. Courage and patience then will grow in you, and you will find your way. When you solicit the deep teachings of the practice, do not long for learning, nor to become a scholar, else worldly actions and desires will dominate. Then this very life will be thrown away. Be humble and modest, and you will find your way. When the various experiences come to you in meditation, do not be proud and anxious to tell people, else you will disturb the goddess and the mothers. Meditate without distractions, and you will find your way. When you accompany your Guru, do not look upon his merits or demerits, else you will find mountains of faults. Only with faith and loyalty will you find your way. When you attend holy meetings with brothers and sisters in the Dharma, do not think of heeding the row, else you will arouse both hate and craving, and offend against the precepts. Adjust yourselves, understand each other, and you will find your way. When you beg for alms in the village, do not use the Dharma for deceit and exploitation, else you will force yourself down to the lower path. Be honest and sincere, and you will find your way. Beyond all else, remember, at all times and places, never be overweening, nor of yourself be proud, else you will be overbearing in your self-esteem, and overload with hypocrisy. If you abandon deceit and pretense, you will find your way. The person who has found the way can pass on the gracious teachings to others. Thus he aids himself and helps the others too. To give is then the only thought remaining in his heart. The disciples were all greatly inspired with the determination to practice diligently and to renounce the world. An unalterable faith in the Jetsun was established in them. They said, "We want to offer you a golden mandala. Pray accept it and give us the practical teaching of the view, practice, and action." Milarepa replied, "I do not need the gold. You may use it to maintain your meditation. As for the teaching of the view, practice, and action, I will tell you. Pray hearken to my song. O my Guru, the exemplar of the view, practice, and action, pray vouchsafe me with your grace and enable me to be absorbed in the realm of self-nature. For the view, practice, and action of accomplishment, there are 3 key points you should know. All the manifestation, the universe itself, is contained in the mind. The nature of mind is the realm of illumination, which can neither be conceived nor touched. These are the key points of the view. Errant thoughts are liberated in the Dharmakaya. The awareness, the illumination, is always blissful. Meditate in a manner of non-doing and non-effort. These are the key points of practice in the action of naturalness. The 10 virtues spontaneously grow. All the 10 vices are thus purified by corrections or remedies. The illuminating void is never disturbed. These are the key points of action. There is no nirvana to attain beyond. There is no samsara here to renounce. Truly to know the self-mind, it is to be the Buddha himself. These are the key points of accomplishment. Reduce inwardly the 3 key points to 1. The 1 is the void nature of being, which only a wondrous guru can clearly illustrate. Much activity is of no avail. If one sees the simultaneously born wisdom, he reaches his goal. For all practitioners of Dharma, this preaching is a precious gem. It is my direct experience from yogic meditation. Think carefully and bear it in your minds, O my children and disciples. The disciples then asked Milarepa, "As we understood you, the unmistakable guide along the path of practice is to pray to one's guru with great earnestness. Is there anything else beyond this?" Milarepa smiled and answered, "The tree of guidance has also many branches." In explaining this to them, he sang, "The guru, the disciple, and the secret teachings, endurance, perseverance, and faith, wisdom, compassion, and the human form, all these are ever guides upon the path. Solitude with no commotion and disturbance is the guide protecting meditation. The accomplished guru, the Jetsun, is the guide dispelling ignorance and darkness. Faith without sorrow and weariness is the guide which leads you safely to happiness. The sensations of the 5 organs are the guides which lead you to freedom from contact. The verbal teachings of the lineage gurus are the guides which illustrate the 3 bodies of the Buddha. The protectors, the 3 precious ones, are the guides with no faults or mistakes. Led by these 6 guides, one will reach happy plane of yoga, abiding in the realm of non-differentiation, in which all views and sophisms are no more. Remaining in the realm of self-knowledge and self-liberation is indeed happy and joyful. Abiding in the valley where no men dwell, with confidence and knowledge one lives his own way. With a thundering voice, he sings the happy song of yoga. Falling in the 10 directions is the rain of fame. Brought to blooming are the flowers and leaves of compassion. The enterprise of Bodhi encompasses the universe. The pure fruit of the Bodhi heart thus attains perfection. The disciples thought, "It makes no difference now to the Jetson where he stays. We will invite him to our village." Thereupon they said to Milarepa, "Reverend one, since your mind no longer changes, there is no need for you to practice meditation. Therefore, for the sake of sentient beings, please come to our village and preach the Dharma for us." Milarepa replied, "Practicing meditation in solitude is, in itself, a service to the people. Although my mind no longer changes, it is still a good tradition for a great yogi to remain in solitude." He then sang, "Through the practice of meditation, I show gratitude to my Guru. Pray grant me your grace, ripen and liberate me. You gifted disciples, the followers of Dharma, heed carefully with all attention while I sing of the profound essential teaching. The great lioness in the upper snow mountains poses proudly on the summit of the peak. She is not afraid. Proudly dwelling in the mountain is the snow lion's way. The queen vulture on red rock stretches her wings in the wide sky. She is not afraid of falling. Flying though, and through the sky is the vulture's way. In the depth of the great ocean darts the queen of fish. Glittering, she is not afraid. Swimming is the fish's way. On the branches of the oak trees, agile monkeys swing and leap. They are not afraid of falling. Such is the wild monkey's way. Under the leafy canopy of the dense wood, the striped tiger roams and swiftly runs, not because of fear or worry. This shows her haughty pride, and is the mighty tiger's way. In the woods of Singa Mountain, I, Milarepa, meditate on voidness, not because I fear to lose my understanding. Constant meditation is the yogi's way. Without distraction, the yogi meditates absorbed upon the pure mandala of Dharma Dhatu, not because he fears to go astray, but to hold the self-quintessence is the yogi's way. When he works on the nadis, prana, and bindu, he avoids hindrances and errors. Not that the teaching has faults in itself, but it is a good way to improve true realization. With natural and spontaneous behavior, one surely meets with countless ups and downs, not because there is discrimination and dualistic thought, but because to manifest all is causation's nature. When he develops other beings by demonstrating the power of karma, though seemingly he sees as real both good and evil, it is not because he has gone astray in his practice, but because to explain the truth to different people, he must use appropriate illustrations. The great yogi, who has mastered the practice, never desires anything in this world. It is not because they want fame that they remain in solitude. It is the natural sign springing from their hearts, the true feeling of non-attachment and renunciation. Yogis who practice the teaching of the path profound dwell always in caves and mountains, not that they are cynical or pompous, but to concentrate on meditation is their self-willing. I, the cotton-clad, have sung many songs, not to amuse myself by singing sophistries, but for your sake, faithful followers, who assemble here. From my heart I have spoken words helpful and profound." The disciples then said to Milarepa, "One may live alone in solitude, but it is necessary to have food and a suitable dwelling in which he can meditate properly." The Jetson replied, "I have my own food and dwelling, which I will illustrate to you. I bow down at the feet of the wish-fulfilling Guru. Pray vouchsafe me your grace in bestowing beneficial food. Pray make me realize my own body as the house of Buddha. Pray grant me this sure knowledge. I built this house through fear, this house of sunyata, the void nature of being. Now I have no fear of its collapsing. I, the yogi, with the wish-fulfilling gem, feel happiness and joy wherever I stay. Because of the fear of cold, I sought for clothes. The clothing I have found is the Ashia vital heat. Now I have no fear of coldness. Because of the fear of poverty, I sought for riches. The riches I found are the inexhaustible 7 holy jewels. Now I have no fear of poverty. Because of the fear of hunger, I sought for food. The food I found is the samadhi of suchness. Now I have no fear of hunger. Because of the fear of thirst, I sought for drink. The heavenly drink I found is the wine of mindfulness. Now I have no fear or thirst. Because of the fear of loneliness, I searched for a friend. The fear I found is the bliss of perpetual sunyata. Now I have no fear of loneliness. Because of the fear of going astray, I sought for the right path to follow. The wide path I found is the path of 2 in 1. Now I do not fear to lose my way. I am a yogi with all desirable possessions, a man always happy wherever he stays. Here at Yolmo Tagpu Senge Son, the tigress howling with a pathetic, trembling cry reminds me that her helpless cubs are innocently playing. I cannot help but feel a great compassion for them. I cannot help but practice more diligently. I cannot help but augment thus my Bodhi mind. The touching cry of the monkey, so impressive and so moving, cannot help but raise me deep pity. The little monkey's chattering is amusing and pathetic. As I hear it, I cannot but think of it with compassion. The voice of the cuckoo is so moving, and so tuneful is the lark's sweet singing. But when I hear them, I cannot help but listen. When I listen to them, I cannot help but shed my tears. The varied cries and cawing of the crow are a good and helpful friend unto the yogi. Even without a single friend, to remain here is a pleasure. With joy flowing from my heart, I sing this happy song. May the dark shadow of all men's sorrow be dispelled by my joyful singing. The disciples were all deeply moved, and a feeling of weariness with samsara overwhelmed them. They swore to Milarepa that they would never leave the mountain. Afterwards, through the practice of meditation, they all reached the state of perfection. One day, Milarepa's patron Buddha told him the time had come for him to go to Tibet proper, and there meditate in solitude to help sentient beings. The patron Buddha also prophesied the success of his career in helping people and in spreading the Dharma. Hence, about this time, Milarepa finally decided to go to Tibet. This is the story of Yomo Snow Mountain.